We're back at Comic-Con.
Here we are.
In person.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Have you had a chance to walk around yet and see the show?
Not me, no. Just got here yesterday.
Just got it.
Me as well, yeah. But I'm very excited to get out on the floor and walk it again because it's been a while.
I'll be honest with you. I'm just excited to be outside and look at all the costumes.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, there's something to Comic-Con. Just coming here, you don't need to buy a ticket. They're going to hate me for saying this. Being in the city near the convention center is incredible. The amount of costumes are there's so many and they're so well done. So anyhow.
Yeah,
You're going to feel
Yes.
very welcomed
Yes.
into the world.
Absolutely. Well, now you guys are Roddenberry Entertainment, and you have a couple of big panels coming up at Comic-Con. Can you talk a little bit about what you guys are going to present?
Yeah, later today at 1:30 in 24 A, B, and C, we have the Roddenberry Presents panels. We'll be talking a lot about Star Trek, the various different shows that we're producing, as well as a lot of the sort of podcasts and sort of supplementary things we're doing, and very excited to talk about those things leading into tomorrow's panel with Streamily. They're a partner that we're actually on the floor with. We have a booth with this week, and we're really focusing with them on sort of our area of fandom and bringing fandom up to a new level, utilizing technology to kind of provide an experience that hasn't been provided before to fans everywhere. And then the big Hall H panel on Saturday that we'll be, again, talking about Star Trek. You'll hear lots of things that you haven't heard before. You'll see lots of cast members. It'll be great. This guy, all that.
Plenty of teasers, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Now, you and I spoke, Rod, you and I spoke last year over Zoom about the 50th anniversary of Star Trek. And since then, I mean, my gosh, Lower Decks, Picard, Prodigy, Strange New Worlds, just Star Trek has blown up. It's bigger than it's been since the 90s. It's not bigger.
It's really incredible. You know, for a while people have been talking about sort of doing, listen, I don't hate to use another name, but I actually don't hate to use it, Marvelizing Star Trek. Marvel has done a great job with all of their different franchises and all their different content and stories. And it's about time that Star Trek did that. And they have done it. They've done an incredible job. And I love the fact that all of these stories are threaded together on some level. And they've done a great job representing Star Trek and bringing it into the modern day. You know, they have to walk that line of doing something new and different, but still connecting to the old. And the great thing about these 5 shows that we have out is that they're all very different. And some of them really harken back to the old days, and some of them are almost completely new, and or totally new. Prodigy is a whole new way of seeing Star Trek that I think many people, including myself initially, didn't really think could be done, and they have blown it out of the water. It's one of my new favorite Star Treks. So I'm very proud of what everyone has done with these new shows, and I think they're just going to keep doing more and more, and I can't wait.
Me neither.
Remember when it was a question as to whether Deep Space Nine and Voyager could be on at the same time?
Right.
Like 2 Star Trek shows on at one time? Yes. That's crazy.
It's crazy talk, yes.
Yeah, and now we just went through 40 straight weeks of brand new episodes.
That's right.
From 4 shows. Amazing. Now, your father, of course, is Gene Roddenberry, and Strange New Worlds, which I absolutely love, really just harkens back to that vision of his that he created back in the 60s. How do you think he would have reacted to seeing Strange New Worlds?
I think he'd be very proud of it. Again, I think something that took me a little not by storm, but surprised me a bit, is the uniqueness of each episode of Strange New Worlds. I'm impressed that they're doing that. It kind of shocked me at first because we've got some comedic episodes, or at least certainly some comedic moments.
Sure.
And these things I would initially say, in reading scripts that I don't know how this is going to play out. I don't know how the audience is going to receive this.
You don't like hijinks? Spock is
right, hijinks, yes, exactly. But they've nailed it, and fans are going crazy for it. And I'm so proud of all the creators. They've done an incredible job with Strange New Worlds, and I'm thrilled for it.
Absolutely.
I can't say enough good things about all the shows, Strange New Worlds definitely being one that has recently hit quite a nerve with fans. And, it harkens back to the episodic way of telling Star Trek stories, of course. It brings what was Gene's original incarnation to light 56 years later. I think that, that is the longest pilot to pick up ever. And we just couldn't be prouder to be witnessing and being part of all the Star Trek that's going on these days.
And obviously, Jess Bush plays Nurse Chapel on the show, which is a character that your mother Majel innovated. How do you enjoy
And
that
Rebecca
character?
Romaine is,
yes.
is Una, our number
that's
one
right. My God,
from The Cage back in the day. My mother is sort of an unsung hero because, my father went through hell, to be honest, too. Like anyone in Hollywood really does these days, getting a new show out there. And the amount of times that he was turned down or his idea was twisted or taken or whatever the case is, all business is rough, but it certainly can be a rough business to content creators. And my mother was there every step of the way, and I know many times my father was ready to walk out or leave or just throw his hands up. She stood by him, and I'm so proud of her, and I'm proud that these characters are coming back, even in some small way, to represent her and her character.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this year is also the 40th anniversary of Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, still one of the greatest movies.
That's right.
Yeah, there's just so much Star Trek. It's just amazing to be a fan right now and have all this variety, plus all the legacy stuff still to just watch endlessly. And also, speaking of that, like we have two Kirks now, and I think William Shatner and Paul Wesley are both here at the con, and I think they had a photo op together this morning.
Oh, I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
We weren't invited.
Oh, well.
No, I think that it's funny. We talk a lot about. I was talking to a writer not too long ago about the idea that I think these characters are somewhat, dare I use this, but you'll understand why. If you think about like Hamlet and these other really big but can be these characters that can be interchanged with different actors. You know what I mean? I'm playing Hamlet. I'm playing. You know what I mean? All these kinds of things. I think that Star Trek is becoming a little bit like that, where there are different Kirks, but they all represent this one being, this one character, and I think it's very, very cool to see that. Of course.
Absolutely. And so I want to pick your brains a little bit more about Star Trek as executive producers of the shows. Do we have anything to share about the upcoming Star Trek movie?
Well, I'll let you.
I know what
you're going to say, but yeah.
we don't have anything we're able to share. We're very excited for Star Trek to return to the big screen. And I know that a lot is being worked on over at Paramount in regard to that. Unfortunately, the details of which I'm not able to divulge, but I can say that it is definitely something that a lot of energy, a lot of focus is being brought to, and we're very, very excited to continue to see what can happen when you're talking about those large audiences in theaters and what have you when it comes to Star Trek, because I think it deserves it, and people enjoy it that way.
And also we've got next year Star Trek Picard Season 3, which as a Next Generation fan, which I know you are as well, it's got the big reunion, the cast is coming back together. Can you talk anything, is there anything you can say about it?
I'm sure we can't say anything about it, but I can say that I'm excited for that to happen. It's nice to bring, I'm just being a true fan, forget my last name. I look forward to seeing what they do in that situation, bringing the cast together and seeing how that story is going to play out so much more in the future.
Yeah.
What I can say is that I think that in the vacuum of if you know nothing, but you loved Star Trek: The Next Generation, I think that you can definitely argue that it makes sense that those old, very deep relationships that Picard would have had with his crew would continue forward to any part of his life and come back around during certain circumstances, perhaps. And I think because of that, it allows for a lovely inclusion of these characters and this reunion, as you call it.
Yeah. So as we just talked about, there's so much Star Trek now. Basically, there's a Star Trek show for every type of fan, and I think there's more coming down the pipe. Do you guys have anything on your personal wish lists in terms of where Star Trek can go next?
Great question.
God, I mean, let me go get my list.
Yeah, I can say it's Strange New Worlds, and not to pick any one. I'm a huge fan of Prodigy. If they can just keep doing Prodigy the way they're doing Prodigy, which that for me is knocking it out of the park. It's phenomenal. Strange New Worlds, maybe the same thing for Strange New Worlds. I am a huge fan of Anson Mount. When he came in season 2 of Discovery, and the way he portrayed himself as a captain, sort of showing his career on the screen and talking about his faults and basically suggesting that there's no way they can do it unless they work as a team, which of course was the exact opposite of Lorca the season before. He represented, I think, Starfleet, Star Trek, and what a true leader is. That you don't need to lead by saying, I am the boss, you listen to me, or else. You earn that respect. And if they can keep doing that with his character and keep, as Trevor has said before, the family in Strange New Worlds, a family, that's the closest to next gen for me, since I'm a next gen fan, that I think they can get.
Yeah, I mean, look, we love all the shows and Discovery and Picard and Lower Decks. I think that if we're talking about what we hope for in the future, I think my hope is to do what I would call fill the gaps. I think that Star Trek has laid out this wonderful world, some of which we've started to tell certain stories and not told the rest of them. In some cases, if you look back at canon, other times where we've had time pockets and periods of time that have not yet been explored. And I think really it's about filling those gaps and telling those stories that we have yet to know or only know a little bit about, so that we can kind of fully expand on this whole universe of Star Trek and get to see the big picture of it all together. And I think that's, that'd be beautiful. That'd be a wonderful tapestry, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Well, I am a diehard Star Trek fan. I think right now we are entering a golden age of how great this franchise can be, and there's still so much more we can do. Thank you guys so much for your time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to your panels, and of course the big Hall H panel on Saturday with the Star Trek universe. And
good one.
yeah, it's going to be great. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Enjoy the con.
Live long and prosper, everyone.